Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is on getting started with learning AI or ML. If you are a if you are a software engineer who is working in a tech company, or you are a fresher who wants to work in a tech company, then this video is for you. So I've created a three-phase roadmaps to get you started with learning AI. Also nowadays, all the tech companies are encouraging their employees to start using AI in their day-to-day work and day-to-day tasks. So in this video, I will be covering the topics that you need to know, the tools and technologies that you need to know to start learning AI. So let's start. Who is this for? So any fresher individuals who is new to the field and wants to start learning AI, experienced developers who are working in other technologies like Java, backend, frontend, UI, Angular, Node.js, or DevOps, or a curious individual. So since this video is very high level and we are not going to discuss the complex things about any topic, so it's going to be a simple and very high level. So any individual who is interested in to know how AI works, or how to get start learning with AI, or how the software engineers are using AI in their day-to-day work, so they can check this videos. Now, why learn AI? Okay, so LLMs are quite popular, right? Everybody is talking about LLM nowadays, and all the AI that you see, that Chat GPT, Gemini, Cloud, DeepSeek, all are powered by LLM. So we must know, right? So large language models are rapidly expanding. High job demand, AI skills are needed in many tech jobs. Okay, AI tools can improve efficiency at work. Great applications using technology. So if you see nowadays, all the apps like Uber, they all have AI as their chat support application. So we need to learn AI, and learning AI is must now. So first phase is going to be fundamentals, learning basic AI concepts. Second phase is like practicing with AI tools, hands-on with the tool. And phase three is developing AI application. Now for fundamentals, you need to understand what is the difference between AI and ML. Okay, so high level, you need to understand the difference between it. You can check about LLMs, what are LLM models. Right? So LLM models are basically called as large language models, and I think it is built using the deep learning algorithm. The neural networks is inside the LLM models. So the LLM models are basically pre-trained. They are trained on large set of data. Okay, and you need to know about this. You can check about these LLM models, how it works, and what it's all about. So what it is, it's basically a program which powers any AI model. You can check on what are LLMs, how it works. Then neural networks, you can check high level. You can go on deep once you are familiar with the concepts and all, and once you are able to start using AI in your day-to-day work. Okay, you are able to use the models and AI and all, and then you can go and look more further in the how neural network works, right? Or how deep learning algorithm works and what it is. You need to know Python basics, okay, and virtual environment. You need to know about how to create a virtual environment. So learning Python is quite simple. So if you are a experienced engineer, I will suggest that you can just take the help of AI to learn Python, and you can, I think, quickly learn Python. It is a simple programming language. I will just show some of things about how to create Python virtual environments and all. And you need to know about Jupyter Notebook, right? So Jupyter Notebook is basically an app or tool that helps us create a Python program and run inline. So I will just show you how Jupyter Notebook is. You can use. Okay, so and also it's good to know the basic math. If you are interested in becoming AI engineer, right? If you want to work on creating new AI models, so there could be, in the companies there are two set of engineers now. They are software engineers and they are AI engineers. Software engineers are the one who develops the applications like Amazon, Facebook, or these applications, Instagram, these applications that we have. They are developed by software engineers. Now the companies are encouraging software engineers to start using AI, to start using AI to create the application with the help of AI, which is going to increase the efficiency of the engineers. The next is the AI engineers. So AI engineers basically create models. They work on models, they create models, they fine tune models, right? So AI engineers, I think for AI engineers, it's must to learn the basic stats, mathematical uh, things that is needed for uh, AI that needs to be learned by the AI engineers. Now, the software engineers may skip it, but once you know the things, once you are familiar with AI and all, then you can go and explore the mathematical concepts or formulas that are being used uh, in this AI models. Now, talking about Jupyter, let me show you some of the tools. So this is the website for Jupyter. Okay, so you can download and explore this. So Jupyter is basically, you can also try it in the browser. If I click on this, so I think yeah, these are the tools which you can use it. Now, I was initially I started using this Jupyter Lab and started using this installed this Jupyter on my machine and was using it. But since VS Code is a very good IDE or coding editor, coding text editor by Microsoft. So VS Code provides a plugin for Jupyter Notebook. So if you see here, let me go to the plugins extension. So in VS Code, we call extension or the plugin we call it as extension. So here you can see I have the Jupyter plugin extension installed. You can see these are the Jupyter extensions, right? So Jupyter extensions is provided by Microsoft.com. What it does is it can help you create notebook inside your VS Code. You don't need to install Jupyter separately. You can just use it inside the VS Code. I've just created a sample program here. If you see this, so if you see it has executed the program and it is giving the answer or the result or the output of the program below this code. So this is the way you can create uh, this Jupyter notebook. And if you need to add further code, so suppose if you see here, this is code is there, I come here and it is generate is basically will use the AI to start to do some coding. Now I have code. Okay, so clicking on this will add a code cell and markdown will add a markdown. So if I need to create some notes like markdown, creating creating a sample code where you can use the markdown programming language. You can create markdown using markdown. You can create your notes and all in the Jupyter notebook. Okay. You can create notes. Plus, if you want to write any Python code, you can just write here. Okay. So if you see here, I will just now execute this, the play button. So it is working now. If you see here, you can use Jupyter Notebook to learn. It is going to help you or to experiment new things. So there are new things like you want to learn about NumPy. NumPy is a kind of a program which is used a lot in AI and machine learning things. So you can use NumPy and Matplotlib is used to create this graph. If you see here, this graph I have plotted using the Matplotlib. So these packages you can install, right? Know what more about NumPy or Matplotlib, so you want to explore it. So what you can do, you can use this Jupyter notebook to experiment with the NumPy different methods or the different code and use Jupyter notebook for that. Now coming to virtual environments. So there are different ways of creating virtual environments. So let me show you how we can create a virtual environment. If you see here, this I have created a sample program. So the first way to create a virtual environment is by using the default Python. So you can write Python -m VNV. If I write this, it's going to install a default Python virtual or add a default Python version virtual environment inside my project directory. So if you see here, I have this virtual environment default. If I can source this, source. So this is the command to source it, right? So now this virtual environment is activated. Now whatever thing I will install NumPy, it is going to install it inside the virtual environment. You see here, if I go to lib Python site packages, you can see here NumPy is installed here. And so anything now I will install will be installed inside this virtual environment, and I can just activate and use it. Let me remove this. Another way is to use the Anaconda. Okay, so Anaconda is this, yeah. So this is Anaconda. Okay. So Anaconda, you have a distribution installer and Miniconda installer. Distribution installer installs lots of things. It installs different additional GUI apps as well. And Miniconda is kind of a lightweight installer. So let me show you what is the difference, high level difference between these two. Also, I will suggest that if you want to start learning AI, you should start using the AI tools like I'm using here Perplexity Pro. So if you have a Airtel postpaid connection, then Perplexity this Pro version is provided by Airtel for 1 year, and after that it will be kind of paid. You can use Perplexity Pro. Okay, I'm using the Chat GPT version here. It is a free version here, so you can use Chat GPT as well. Then there is a Google Gemini, so you can use Google Gemini, So we can ask these questions to any of the models. So if I paste this Anaconda distribution or Miniconda, it will give us a detail about it. So I can use any AI models that I have. So you can see here it is providing the answer here. So ease of use, ideal for beginners, for those who want a complete ready-to-use data science environment without manual setup. Okay. Miniconda is lightweight, the installer is much smaller, and the installation requires minimal disk space. So I think this Anaconda, if you install, it will take size around 1 or 2 or 3 GBs of disk space it is going to use. And Miniconda will use less than 1 GB. So I am using Miniconda for my development. So all the environments that I create it using Miniconda, and I use the VS Code for my coding and all. So let me show you how we can use Miniconda. So I've installed Miniconda. It's very simple to install. You can just go and install the installer on the Linux or Windows or Mac, whatever you have. It's very simple to install. You can just install that. After installing it, what you can do is I will just what I have done, I have installed Miniconda inside my home directory. Okay, so I've installed Miniconda inside my home directory. So if this sign you can see here, this means the home directory. So first I need to activate my, or let me right now it is activated. My virtual environment default is activated. So let me create a new folder. Miniconda V. If you see here, first I need to source Miniconda. I can use this command, create. So dot is the current directory. What I'm saying that inside my project in the current directory, create a VNV environment and use the Python 3.10 version. So basically here I can change the Python version as well. So I can use Python 3.10, 3.11, 3.12, 3.13. So I can use any Python version and create an environment. So let me hit enter. So yes, so this is by default. Miniconda will install all these packages inside our virtual environment. Now it has added a VNV folder and install all the packages inside it. Now I need to activate this environment. I will just call conda activate dot venv. So this is going to activate my environment. Now my environment is activated. Deactivate environment, I can just call conda deactivate and it will deactivate. Now I will, there is third way to create the virtual environment. So let me do that. So there is another tool which is called UV. So UV also create a virtual environment. Okay, it is used to create a virtual environment. The command is very simple. You can use UV VNV. Let me name it UV. Okay. So what it has done is it has created a Python 3.13 virtual environment. Now I don't use UV much. I mostly use the default Python one and the Miniconda. But its UV is also very nice to create virtual environments and all. And there is also one thing that is you can create the project as well. You can use UV init dot and it will create some of the files inside it. So you see these files are created readme project.yml main.py. Okay, I can activate using VNV. Okay. Then activate. So this environment is activated. You see here, I can run this code. Okay, so if you see here, I'm able to run this code. It has created a file readme and project.yml. Also, it creates these files like did ignore Python version it will create, whatever version you want to use, and creates the .git directory. Okay, so these three way you can create a virtual environment. You must always create a virtual environment for that project, and then you should use it. And you can create virtual environment either using Python default Python command, or the Miniconda, or the Python or this UV Python tool. So UV tool is also used to create the virtual environments. Now go to our slide. So we talked about Jupyter. Okay? So how you can use Jupyter? You can use it directly inside the VS Code. Also, you can download it from the Jupyter website. You can download the Jupyter Lab, and you can use that. Python you need to learn. You can take the help of AIs and all, and you can create the virtual environment. Once you are familiar with these tools, you know about AI ML, basic AI ML, you know about LLM models, how it works and what it is. You know about basic Python and virtual environments, you know Jupyter Notebook. Now you are kind of ready to go to the next phase. So in the next phase, we need to explore further on models, how you can use different models. So first, if you see here, I have mentioned run LLMs locally. So you can use LLM models to run locally on your system. You see here, these models are basically I'm using on the browser, right? And there are API keys which you can use to run the models. If I search for Gemini API key, so you see here, I have created one API key. You can create multiple API key using this. Once I type the name for my API key and generate, it will generate an API key. You can use Google Gemini to create API keys. Also, there is a very good website. I will tell you the name. It's Grok Cloud. I use this a lot to do my work and all with respect to AI programming and all. So here also it provides an API keys. I have created one API key here. So you can use API key to create application. So my application is basically will interact with the models of these Grok. So if you see here, these are the models, provides all these models. These are all LLM models. So what I could do is I can, in my program which I write using Python, what I will do, I will provide this API key and provide this LLM model's name, and my application will start interacting with these models. Okay. So also there is a tool called Ollama. So Ollama basically helps you to run the models locally on your laptop. Now your laptop needs to have the GPU. So the better the GPU of your laptop, your local model will run more fast and perform better. You can see here, this is the model. It's very simple. I have a separate video on how to run and set up the Ollama on your local environment. You can check that on my channel. And if you like the video, do subscribe the channel. Okay. You can see here, Ollama provides lots of models here. Okay. Llama, Gemma, Mistral, all these models are provided by Ollama. And it is very simple to run. If you see here, where basically I am running a model using Ollama. So Olama list will basically show all the models that is locally installed on my system. And if you see, I have installed this Llama model and I am running here. Maybe I can ask question to it here. What is LLM? And it will provide us inside my terminal. This model is completely running local, right, inside my terminal. Also, you can write code, something similar to this. I will just show a simple code, not a complex one. Tab dot you can see here, I have this code. This for this I'm using LangChain. So let me prompt engineering. Okay, so you need to know about LLMs. You need to know about LLMs. Olama, I will just show you now. Olama, how I'm using with the code. Okay, you can use Cloud API. You can use Gemini, Grok Cloud, and all. Then you can use the API keys and to use it with LLM models and your program. Then you need to know about prompt engineering basics. So prompt engineering is basically the queries you ask with your model. So the better or more clear your queries going to be, the better the LLM is going to provide or the AI is going to provide the answer to you. So you need to focus on prompt engineering basics. So you can check that. So there are lots of different ways of using prompt engineering. So you need to know this to use the AI very efficiently. Okay. Then there are tools like GitHub Copilot, Gemini, Cursor. So these are different tools which you can use in the IDE. Maybe I will show you these tools as well. So right now, I use GitHub Copilot inside my VS Code. I use Gemini CLI and Gemini with my another editor, which is the NeoVim. So I use NeoVim a lot. So I use Gemini there. And in the phase two, you can also create your first application, a chatbot or a AI using any model. And you can use LangChain for that. So LangChain is basically, you can check, there is Langsmith is there, and there is LangChain. Okay, so LangChain, what it does, it provides us different libraries and all to get you started with creating applications. If you see here, it is the kind of providing a code here to use a Google API key to interact with the Gemini model. Okay, so you can use LangChain and use any Grok Cloud also you can use. If you just search for LangChain and Grok. So if you see here, it is providing me how to use LangChain with the Grok Cloud. So you can use the Grok API key. You need to install these packages. Once you get familiar with Python, the virtual environment, how we are installing the Python packages, then you can easily set up all these things and take the help of LangChain documentation to create all your applications and all. Okay. So this application is basically using the Olama. So if you see here, I'm using Olama. For that, I have installed some packages like LangChain, Olama LLMs, and this code is basically written to interact with the LLM model which is running locally inside my laptop using the Olama tool. So if you see here, there is a prompt. So any question if I ask, it is going to answer. If I run this app, okay, it's just maybe I need to do something else. Okay, okay, so I think this code is not completed. It is still I am writing this code. Okay, I will debug later on. So you can write your first program using the LangChain and the tools and all. And here I was running for now, right? So this is Gemini CLI. So Gemini CLI is like using the AI inside the terminal. The way I was running Olama. Olama, the complete model was running locally. Here the Gemini will, Gemini CLI will interact with the models running on the Google cloud servers and all, and then it will answer my query. If I can ask something like, give me program to use Olama models with LangChain. You see here, I am asking a question to it inside the terminal and it is going to answer me. And if you see here, it is doing a Google search and searching the internet. And once it will search the internet, it will, from that search result, it will generate the answer to us. Okay, so we can use LLM models. We can use the cloud models, Grok Cloud, Gemini, OpenAI, or DeepSeek, or any other model. Now, Copilot. Okay, let me show you the Copilot. So if you see here I am using the Copilot inside my IDE. You can use GitHub Copilot. And you see here, you can say explain this code, and it will explain this code to me. So you see here, it has started explaining it. So if you have the Copilot inside it, so it will just speed up your learning process. To the fresher, I will suggest that you should not use you should not start using Copilot chat initially. Initially, you should focus on learning the concepts and all of the Python language. Once you are good with the Python concepts, then you should start using the Copilot. To the experienced people or engineers, I will suggest you can start using from the day one the Copilot inside your IDE so that it will just speed up your learning. So I think it is great. Yes. Uh, Also, let me do one thing. I have a running Gemini model inside this. Let me just add this file. Check this code and tell me if any error and how can I run this. Okay, so I'm using Gemini here. So let me go here again. What is the short first step? It is telling me to install this drop API key, when drop here. You can see here my code companion is Gemini. So Gemini I'm using here. So once you are familiar with all these things, you are comfortable using AI in your browser, right? So like this. Once you are uh, aware of using Jupyter Notebook, you know how to use or create virtual environments when it's using Miniconda UV or Python. You're aware about the models running locally on your system, and then you know about LangChain, how you can create application to interact with AI models. So once you are done with all these things, then you can move to the phase three. So phase three will be basically creating a RAG-based application. So what is RAG? RAG is retrieval augmented generation, in which what happens is that your AI models, when you ask any questions to it, and so what happens is that the LLM model is trained on some pre-trained data. So they are pre-trained model. So if any information is not with them when they were trained, then you can provide those information in some other tools like some database, some PDF or like that way. You see here there is something called vector databases. So there are Chroma, FAISS, Vivian, and there are many more. So you can use the vector databases to store the data. Actually, vector database is very efficient and has a better performance when you have a large set of data and you query those data with the database. So using a vector database is the best option to use with AI models because the performance is better. You can check what is vector database and more on it, how it works and why the performance of vector database is better than the databases like Mongo, Centra, DynamoDB, or Postgres database and all. You can check about that. So what happens in RAG is that we store the information that is not known to my pre-trained model inside of vector data. I will configure my application where my model will interact with my vector database for the answer, and then combining his knowledge and the vector database knowledge, it will provide the answer to me. So that is RAG-based application. And fine-tuning model is that you have a pre-trained model and you have a set of information or set of data set on which you need to fine-tune. So what you can do is you can further train or further fine-tune model on those additional data. So you need to take care about lots of things about security, about your models not being biased, your model should not be hallucinating and all, and you need to be secure. Also, you need to take care of lots of things like it should not be biased, not hallucinate, and it should be quite safe and secure to use. It should not to give, like if a child is going to use any model, your model, it should not give any bad words or things or output to a child using the model. You need to train it in lots of phases, and you need to keep those models very in a better uh, state to handle all those things. Also, there is a term called guardrail. So you can check that. Guardrail is basically monitor, making your model to comply to some uh, rules or securities or compliance. So you can check that. Then there is agentic AI, right? So agentic AI, you can use tools like LangGraph. So LangGraph and LangChain both are provided by the same company or organization. So you can use LangGraph to create agentic. Agentic AI is basically, in what we'll say in layman terms, it is basically multiple AI models working together. So you can have like in a team, what happens? There is a lead, there is a engineer, there is a tester, there is a manager, right? So they all work as a team. So in agentic AI also, we have a different types of models, and they can be used to solve a problem statement. So they can have different AI agents, like different AI with different roles. And when you provide the problem statement according to skill sets, those AI models will solve that problem. So that is agentic AI. Also, there are tools like if you are not a coder, right, you don't want to deal with code and all. So there are tools like Flowise, Landflow, Magicflow, and many other tools are there, which are no or low code tools which you can use to create AI models and all. Also, you can create codes and all or applications, web browser application and simple application using simply from ChatGPT or Plexility. If I ask it any question to create some login screen and AngularJS or React.js, then it will give me the answer. Now, for complex applications that usually we create in the companies and all, there we need to have we use AI as our assistant. So the small application I have seen it works very nice, but with a complex application, lots of time either we are not able to explain the requirement properly to our AI model, maybe due to the lack of prompt engineering basics knowledge, right? So at that time, with complex project, there are times when we find AI models to not be like not very great. So it's like it acts like an assistant to us. Okay, so in the phase 3, you can develop these things, and also you can check how you can now evaluate and deploy your models for your production environment and all. Those things you can keep in your phase 3. So your learning toolkit, I think we discussed we need to learn Python, Jupyter, LangChain, LangGraph. Hugging Face is also a very good Hugging Face is very good. So you can check Hugging Face as well. Hugging Face also provides a lots of AI models, right? So that you can use and install locally and run locally on your system. Fine tuning. There are lots of documentation available on the Hugging Face. So you can check the documentation of Hugging Face for fine tuning your model. Next, prompt engineering use, and if you want to use the AI efficiently, then you must know the prompt engineering basics. And tools like Olama, Flowise, and Copilot, you should be aware. Now, from beginners to builder, you can, if you are a complete beginner, you can go through stepwise phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. If you know the basic, you are aware about the phase 1, you can directly choose the phase 2 and start working on it. So you can just know the basic, choose a phase, learn by building application, right? Aim for growth, not perfection, embrace progress, right? So initially you will have problem, you will not be perfect, your application will have issues like the way I was facing some issues while running the application. Okay, so that's all for the basic things. Maybe for the uh, more details on any topic, you can write me in the comments section. I will create a video on that. Also, I am planning to create at least a video on creating a RAG-based application, and also maybe I will run an application that this application which I created, the LangChain application. Maybe I will fix it and also create one video explaining how I wrote this application. That's all for today's video. And if you like the video and if you find the video helpful, do subscribe the channel. It will motivate me to create and further uh, add more content to my channel. So that's all, and thank you and have a nice day and bye bye.